Hello again everyone, and welcome to Mythic Kilrogg Deadeye. This is the 5th boss in Hellfire Citadel, and it's very unique and interesting from a Disciplined Priest point of view. All the damage here is very bursty and very predictable, and it's also over very quickly, so we're going to run Halo for burst healing, and really try to maximize our priest shields for the burst damage. This burst I'm referencing is obviously the death throws, and it occurs when the boss reaches 100 energy. In real time, it's about 45 seconds between the boss's death throws, so our Archangel timing is going to be very weird. What you're going to want to do is hold your Archangel every time until about 65 energy. This means you'll have intentionally low Archangel uptime, but you're trading that for having Archangel available when you need it the most. It doesn't make sense to Archangel on cooldown because you won't be healing anything with it until after 65 energy. At 45-second intervals, the timing will be thrown off for each subsequent Archangel, so the bottom line here is to save your Archangels until around 65 energy. Alright, pretty simple strategy. When you do get to 65 energy, you'll want to start your pre-shield blanketing with the notion that the ranged not in your group are excellent targets to pre-shield. After the death throws begins, you can Empowered Archangel Prayer of Healing the melee group or Prayer of Healing off yourself in a good position to guarantee your 5-man prayer cast. You'll also want to throw out your Halo as soon as possible to let your Aegis start doing work. Positioning is going to be very important here. You'll see some of my Halos miss the other ranged group, so there's definitely some awareness on your positioning required for both Halo and Prayer of Healing. This fight is very short, so if you need to throw out an additional Prayer of Healing or two during the death throws, you should feel free as long as you're getting low overheal on it. Outside of the death throws, your tanks will be taking very heavy damage, so keep their Weakened Soul debuff on point, and you can consider Clarity of Will as well if you need it. I actually hard-casted heal quite a bit just to single target the tanks at under 65 energy, so you definitely have the flexibility and the time for clarity here if you want it. The other source of damage in the fight is the bleed from the Heartseeker, which is really quite heavy, so again, keep the Weakened Soul up on those targets and consider Clarity of Will if your raid needs the single target healing. You have the option to bop off the bleeds, as the debuff does not have an expiration timer on Mythic. The only way to remove it without bop is to go down in the Visions of Demise, which you should never do as a Disciplined Priest. The reason you don't want to do this is because the healer in Visions gets a buff that increases their healing done. Since our shields don't interact with that buff, our main source of healing is unaffected. You should let the other healers better suited for throughput healing get that buff. If you do go down, it will make your Prayer of Healing and Halos massive, and it will also give you a gigantic Aegis on those spells, as well as a huge personal absorb shield. If you want to push your HPS for parses, that's how you can scumbag and raise your healing, but if your goal is simply to kill the boss, the smartest thing for you to do as a Disciplined Priest is going to be to stay up top and let the throughput healers have the buff for their cooldowns. You'll see I ended up doing over 100,000 HPS without going down on this fight, so you're more than capable of performing well and covering every death throws without a healing buff. That's really all there is to this fight, so go ham at 65 energy with Archangel shielding, land your Halos and your Empowered Archangel prayers on as many players as you can, and keep the single target heals rolling on the tanks and the Heartseeker targets. As always guys, I wish you good luck on Kilrogg Deadeye, and I'll see you at the next boss, which is Mythic Gorefiend.